By now, many of you have probably heard about the new song that's gone screaming up the iTunes chart. It's called Rich Men North of Richmond, written by a young man named Oliver Anthony. The song is absolutely touching a nerve with millions upon millions of people all across this country. It is raw, it is stripped down, it is dripping with emotion. And for all the people that it's touched, they are responding in a highly positive manner, identifying with the lyrics of this song. So, why do I have a bad feeling the gatekeeper media is about to dump all over this song? Wonder what I'm talking about? Hang on, folks. I'll explain why I'm feeling this way here in just one second. 'My name is Brian Trippett. I am your front porch conservative. Step on up to my electronic front porch and let's talk. 5 days ago, the song Rich Men North of Richmond was uploaded to YouTube, and ever since then, it has absolutely gone viral, not just on YouTube, but on the iTunes charts and all around the internet. This song is absolutely running like wildfire. Now, the reaction that it's getting, contrary to what some people might think, is extraordinarily positive. So, what kind of comments are we getting? What's it doing on the iTunes charts? What's the song all about? And why do I think that the media is about to dump all over this thing? Let's get into all that. We're going to go first to YouTube, and I cannot play the song, obviously, but I want to take a look at the reaction that people are giving, and I also then want to look at the lyrics of the song. So let's start with YouTube in the comments section. The video was uploaded to a YouTube page for Radio West Virginia, and you're getting reactions like this. Here's one comment. This is not a song. It's an anthem for 80 plus million Americans who have been smeared, ignored, mocked, slandered, and robbed by their own government. Thank you, Oliver Anthony. Another reaction. Thank you, Oliver. Right on target. Keep them coming, Patriot. This is awesome. You speak for the vast majority of Americans. Thank you, Oliver Anthony, for keep writing, brother. We'll keep listening and sharing great stuff. Amen. Every American can relate to this song. You have a wonderful voice. Thank you for speaking for all of us. Amen, brother. You deserve a Grammy for this insightful and honest protest song from Vancouver, British Columbia, Canada, where it's just as true. I will. You've captured the anger, the angst, and the disbelief of every hardworking, law abiding, patriotic American who can't believe what our country has become. Thank you, Oliver Anthony, for this anthem. So that's the reaction, or some of it anyway. There are thousands and millions of comments like this rolling in all over the place. So, what exactly are the lyrics to this song? Why is this touching such a nerve with people? Well, let's take a look. Verse 1. I've been selling my soul, working all day, overtime hours for bullshit pay, so I can sit out here, waste my life away, drag back home, drown my troubles away. It's a damn shame what the world's gotten to for people like me and people like you. Wish I could just wake up and it not be true, but it is. Oh, it is. Living in the new world with an old soul, these rich men north of Richmond, Lord knows they all just want to have total control, want to know what you think, want to know what you do. They don't know and they don't think you know, but I know that you do because your dollar ain't shit and it's taxed to no end because of rich men north of Richmond. Second verse. I wish politicians would look out for minors and not just minors on an island somewhere. Lord, we got folks in the street ain't got nothing to eat, and these obese milking welfare. Well, God, if you're 5'3" and 300 pounds, taxes ought not pay for your bag of fudge rounds. Young men are putting themselves 6 feet in the ground 'cause all this damn country does is keep kicking 'em down. Lord, it's a damn shame what the world's gotten to for people like me and people like you. Wish I could just wake up and it not be true, but it is. Oh, it is. Living in the new world with an old soul, these rich men north of Richmond, Lord knows they all just want to have total control. Want to know what you think, want to know what you do, and they don't think you know, but I know that you do, 'cause your dollar ain't shit, and it's taxed to no end 'cause of rich men north of Richmond. And the outro goes, I've been selling my soul, working all day, overtime hours for bullshit pay. That's the song. And as I said, if I were able to play the song and you were able to hear it, there's nothing fancy about it. He's just one man standing up there singing into a microphone and playing a dobro, or guitar with a resonator is the technical term for it. It's very stripped down. It's very raw. It's very honest. There's nothing fancy, flashy, anything about the song. Those lyrics, him singing, that's it. And that song, with its message inside, is absolutely touching millions of people. When that song was uploaded to that YouTube channel, Radio WV, as of the publishing of this video, it's got 7.9 million views in 5 days. You think that's something? Try this on for size. This is directly from the iTunes chart. Take a look at this. Top 40 U.S. country songs. Who's number one? Oliver Anthony Music, Rich Men North of Richmond. It's been on top for 3 days and has no signs of slowing down. And not only, however, is it number one on the iTunes country chart, check this out. As soon as it loads up here, it's not just the top of the country chart, it's on top of everything and everybody, regardless of genre. Matter of fact, here's top songs, the full chart. The only person close in any other genre is number 4, Taylor Swift, Cruel Summer. And the reason that she's number 4 is there's 2 other Oliver Anthony songs, Ain't Got a Dollar and I've Got to Get Sober, numbers 2 and 3. Rich Men North of Richmond is the number 1 song in America right now, according to iTunes. It's absolutely amazing. But who is this young man? I mean, what's this song, and what is this song all about? I mean, yeah, I've just read you the lyrics, but where's he coming from in all this? Well, good question. Let's go to Billboard.com. Rich Men North of Richmond viral hitmaker Oliver Anthony. 5 things you need to know. The Virginia resident is resonating with music listeners thanks to his song Raging Against Greed and Injustice. Articles written by Jessica Nicholson. We go into it a little bit. Virginia country singer Oliver Anthony, a former factory worker, is going viral thanks to his song Rich Men North of Richmond, a scathing tale of greed and injustice that is rapidly being embraced and promoted by right-wing pundits. Hold that last line for a second. We'll come back to that in a moment. In a YouTube video posted August the 7th, Anthony shared that the performance video of Rich Men North of Richmond was, quote, his first song to get out there that has been recorded on a real microphone and a real camera and not just my cell phone. He also noted that he began writing his own music in earnest in 2021. Quote, things were not good for a lot of people, and in some respects, I was one of those people, Anthony said. I had wasted a lot of nights getting high and getting drunk, and I'd sort of gotten to a point in my life where even things I did care about didn't mean anything to me anymore. This is certainly no Dr. Phil episode, but I found an outlet in this music. I started uploading a couple of songs. Of Rich Men North of Richmond, he said it centers on the problems of the working class, noting, quote, The universal thing I see is no matter how much effort they put into what they're doing, they just can't get ahead because the dollar's not worth enough. They're being overtaxed. I want to be a voice for those people, and not just them, but humans in general. He went on to add, as long as you're above dirt, you've got a fighting chance. Anthony's grisly acoustic sound and straightforward songwriting style is already drawing stylistic comparisons to artists like Zach Bryan and Tyler Childers. Here are 5 things to know about Anthony and Northmen north of Richmond. Now, I won't go through all 5 of them, but there's one part of this I really want to get to, and it's this. He says he's dead center politically. Now, let me read this very carefully because I want everybody to kind of get this firmly grasped in their mind before we go any further in this video. Anthony discussed his now viral song saying, quote, "It touches base on human trafficking and the atrocities that, I'll say this, I sit pretty dead center down the aisle on politics and always have. I remember as a kid the conservatives wanting war and me not understanding that, and I remember a lot of the controversies when the left took office. It seems like both sides serve the same master, and that master is not someone of any good to the people of this country. But I think one of the worst things a human can do is take advantage of a child. I can't begin to conceptualize what has to happen to someone in order for them to think it's okay. I think I drew the line on being quiet when I started seeing that becoming normalized, and I'll just leave it at that." The last part of the song touches on suicide rates and really on mental health and depression. There's no reason why young men and women in this country should be committing suicide. There's obviously a problem. People talk about epidemics in this country: homelessness, drug use, lack of skilled labor, and the suicide rates. Those aren't problems, they're symptoms of a bigger universal problem. It's common sense, but we don't talk about it enough. Okay, let's talk about this song for a few minutes. As I said, just reading the lyrics, you can tell this song is stripped down. It's simple. The fact that the man is sitting there saying, well, this is the first song I recorded in front of a microphone and a camera instead of my iPhone, gives you some idea. We're not talking about high value Nashville production here. But the lyrics of that song are absolutely touching people in a way that, you can see it from the comments. People are like, man, you are speaking for me. You are absolutely talking about what I feel. And the reason why I read that last section, his quotes, I want people to understand where his song is coming from. What he's talking about is a universal theme that you could always find, I guess, through country music, and that is the working man is working very hard, but he's not getting ahead. And Oliver Anthony goes on in this song, do I say it, the dollar just doesn't do what it used to do anymore. People keep trying, they keep working, they keep struggling, but they can't get ahead. Now, he touches on some other themes. He makes a reference to the Epstein Island issue. We'll just leave it at that. He also touches on, the greed and corruption that is Washington, D.C. And as I say, when people are hearing this song in its raw honesty, they're responding to it with positiveness. From my perspective, there's really nothing controversial about this song. I mean, everything he's touched on is in the news. It's not like people don't know this. It's not like people don't know there's inflation. It's not like people don't know about the issues related to Jeffrey Epstein. It's not like people don't realize there's corruption in Washington, D.C. So why do I get the bad feeling that this song's about to get dumped on? Enter Rolling Stone magazine. Take a look at this. Right-wing influencers just found their favorite new country song is the headline. In the Richmond north of Richmond song, a singing farmer in Virginia blasts high taxes and obese people on welfare and even appears to allude to Jeffrey Epstein. Article written by Joseph Hudak. Right-wing influencers are losing their minds over a new country song that just appeared on streaming services today. Richmond north of Richmond is a passionate screed against the state of the country, sung by Oliver Anthony, who identifies as a farmer living off the grid with his 3 dogs in Farmville, Virginia. In a video Anthony posted to YouTube earlier this month, he says he started writing songs in 2021 after he, quote, wasted a lot of nights getting high and getting drunk. Raw solo songs with titles like I've Got to Get Sober and Ain't Got a Dollar helped cultivate a small following, but it was his recently released performance of Rich Men North of Richmond, in which the red-bearded Anthony performs the song on a resonator guitar in a field with a deer blind behind him, that caught the attention of conservative personalities like John Rich and commentators like Dan Bongino and Matt Walsh. Quote, the main reason this song resonates with so many people isn't political. It's because the song is raw and authentic. We are suffocated by artificiality, tweeted Walsh, vowing to promote any album Anthony releases, quote, on all my platforms. And by the way, John Rich has said and has confirmed it to the press that if Oliver Anthony wants to record a whole album, he'll be happy to produce it. Now, notice what Rolling Stone's already doing. This is right wing. This is right wing talking points. All the conservatives are just all aghast and gaga over this thing. I'm telling you, that's the warning shot. They're already sending it to this poor kid. Now, maybe he's read this article, maybe he hasn't. That's not the point. Rolling Stone is sort of putting out the word with what they're doing here. Hey, guys, we got another Jason Aldean wannabe here. We got another try that in a small town sort of song. I'm telling you, you watch what happens over the next 7 to 10 days. You're going to have gatekeeper media people, music review people, which, by the way, these music review people are probably former musicians who haven't written or sung a hit song since the 1940s, coming out and absolutely dumping all over this thing. And in the meanwhile, as word of this song continues to spread, its popularity is going to grow because all the themes that are in this song are universal. Look, this kid's not right-wing, not by any stretch of the imagination. He even says, I'm pretty much down the road, down the middle politically. You know, he's taking his shots at Democrats and Republicans. Remember, he doesn't even mention a party by name. He just says the rich men north of Richmond. And does anybody really think that greed, corruption are limited to just one political party when it comes to Washington, D.C.? This kid is absolutely touching on issues that everybody is thinking. Everybody is saying to their friends around the water cooler at work. Everybody's saying during their break or their lunch hour. They're talking about all this stuff. And finally, somebody has put this thing into a song, encapsulated it in the absolute perfect package. Simple, stripped down, raw, and dripping with emotion. It's a great song. I mean, whether you agree with what he's saying or not, it's a great song. Now, my personal hope for him is, I don't necessarily know where he's going to go from here, but I hope that he continues to write songs like this, because it's this kind of honest discourse in music that we really need to get back to. Now, a lot of you are probably thinking, Front Porch, why do you even care about this? You normally don't touch on pop culture stuff, and you're absolutely right. But when you have one of those moments where pop culture and politics sort of intersect, yeah, I'm willing to talk about it. And frankly, this is exactly one of those moments. I don't know where it's going to go from here, but I'll tell you this much. Watch over the next week or two if you don't see people in the media, New York Times, Post, Washington Post, etc., just start dumping all over this kid and all over this song, which is going to be a crying shame, because it's going to prove something that I and other people have been saying for a long time now, and it's this: that the mainstream media is so out of touch with an overwhelming majority of people in this country, they literally have no idea who they're talking to, who they're writing about, or what those folks even believe. And they're just about to prove it once again. But that's what I think. What do you think? As we start to wrap up this video, please do me some favors as always. Number one, if you are not a subscriber to the channel, please do so. Number two, please leave a comment below. I'd really like to know what you think of this video, and it also helps out the algorithm, believe it or not. Number three, please share the video around to all your friends. Number four, hit the bell for notifications. I want to make sure you're always aware when new material is coming out. And number five, please give me a thumbs up on this video. My name is Brian Trippett. I am your Front Porch Conservative, and I'll see you next time.